Hi there, I'm Holly McDonald with the Costa Mesa Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the lifestyle, businesses, and activities that make Costa Mesa such a great place to live. Today I have Austin, and Austin has introduced a very cool new community to Costa Mesa, and I'm so excited to have him here to share more about it. So, hey, Austin.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so Austin is a fellow realtor, but he has this amazing community that's super cool, and I'm going to let him tell you all a little bit about it because he will tell it best.
Yeah, so it all started around being a new dad. I have a son, Hudson. He's a year and a half. And after we got out of the phase, after we got all the vaccinations, we were able to get out of the house. My wife immediately started attending all these different groups. There's a ton of really great communities for moms locally here in Orange County. There's the Mom Walk Collective, Fit for Mom, the New Mom School. I mean, there's just endless communities for the moms. And I was a little jealous and wanted to figure out what was available for dads. I was one of the first of my friends to have kids, and so didn't have anyone directly in my area that I could connect with, relate to, kind of just talk through the struggles, see if I was going crazy or not, and decided, what the heck, let me just throw it out into the world and see if I can get some dads together. And so I started a group locally. I started it in Costa Mesa at SoCo. And we would meet there once a month. Started getting like 15 dads there. Some friends of friends were showing up, a bunch of random people that had seen it online, and slowly it's been growing, and it's been really great. But yeah, so it's really as simple as I get dads together. I encourage them to bring their kids, and we hang out for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I've done some events at SoCo in the past, so I saw
Yep.
a lot of your postings about it being at SoCo. And did you primarily promote it just through like Instagram, or was it on other social media as well?
Yeah, so primarily through Instagram, but honestly, I wanted to make sure I was getting as much visibility as possible. So I threw it out on Facebook, on Nextdoor, on Eventbrite, on LinkedIn. I mean, literally just anywhere where people would see it. And it's so funny because I did this not having any expectations. And the guys that came up, they all saw it on different platforms. Whether they saw it or their significant other saw it or a friend or a parent saw it and sent it to them. So I'm really happy that I kind of went about it that way. But yeah, so I posted on so many different social media platforms, but Instagram is the primary channel that we have it on.
Yeah, I'm sure like a lot of like wives and moms saw it and sent it along to their husbands too. What a nice
Well,
thing for you to do.
yeah, well, and that's what's been really nice about all the mom communities locally is that they've been super supportive, and they've been one of the best resources for getting the word out. So a lot of the times it's, I came because my wife sent me, so
Yeah.
that's super common. And there is definitely a stigma of like guys hanging out together outside of a bar or outside of like watching a sporting event or something, right? And so there are a lot of guys that come for the first time, and they're a little uncomfortable and it's out of the norm. But when everyone shows up, they realize that there is no agenda. We're not doing like arts and crafts or anything. It's literally just come on through, grab a coffee, and let's just hang out and just share all of our experiences together.
Awesome. And so like the kids that come, is it usually toddlers and little ones? What have you seen?
Yeah, so the majority of the kids that come through are usually under 3,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that it's definitely not targeted just towards the younger kids. What I've kind of noticed is if your kid is in a preschool or kindergarten, you're already starting to gather your community and your group of people, right? And so it's the individuals that don't have those communities yet that are seeking this. But I've had dads that have kids in middle school and high school. I have one dad that came through who has his kids are in college, and he was able to like provide like really great insight to some things that he did for his kids. And so we've been able to reach dads that have kids of all ages. But I I'd be lying to say if the majority of them aren't in strollers or, just learning to walk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense too with the new mom school and like the Fit for Mom and all of that. Most of those moms have the very little itty bitty kids. So
Exactly.
yeah. Oh, how fun. So these little kids are getting socialized and a little social life going so quickly.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And it's funny that, a couple of the dads that come back say the reason they came back is because their kids had fun and, and wanted to come back and play with the kids again, which has been really cool to see.
Awesome. And so most of your meetups, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've mostly been in Costa Mesa or learning?
Yeah, so it started in Costa Mesa, and so the first, I don't know, call it 6 were in Costa Mesa, but I started to learn that I was getting dads from everywhere. I mean, I've had a dad come to a couple of events, and he drove from San Diego. Had guys coming, I've had dads from Riverside come through. But in short, I was realizing that people were traveling all across Orange County, and I advertised as being all across Orange County, but was making it convenient for myself to just be in Costa Mesa. And so I've now increased my events from 1 event a month to 2 a month, and I do my best to kind of spread it out. So we've got one this weekend, and we're going to be in Aliso Viejo. And then the next one that we have later in the month, that one is going to be in Costa Mesa. So I try to mix it up so that not everyone's traveling, and that has opened it up significantly. There are dads that aren't willing to travel with their kid, which I totally get. And so me being able to go to them, I've been able to reach a lot more dads locally that way.
Oh yeah, and you're expanding the reach of other dads that you can connect with. So that's really awesome. So when you plan these events and you're, picking spots to do them at, what have you found is your sweet spot? I think I've seen you've done like playgrounds and you've done some like brewery type of places.
Yeah. So the majority of the places I've hosted them at have been coffee shops, and the idea was I don't want to be an inconvenience to anybody, and so I don't want to double book, and so we're all up early in the morning anyway, so let's just crank these out first thing in the morning. Dads can get the kids out of the house, the moms can have a break, and the majority of them are first thing in the morning. But again, as I was starting to host them and it got a little bit more visibility, I had certain dads saying that, this is so great, but your 9 to 11 is in the middle of my nap time, and so I haven't been able to come to any of them yet. So it's like, okay, that's a really great point. So I started doing, a couple in the morning, a couple early afternoon, now I mix them up between early morning, early afternoon, Saturdays and Sundays, and really try to make sure that the guys that are wanting to come have that option too. Some people work on the weekends. So I changed my times. Typically it's at coffee shops. For the longest time, I had a really hard time with the idea of bringing advertising to bring your kids to a brewery, even though I've met up with friends at breweries with our kids, and that's very normal. But I did learn and realize that a lot of the feedback I was getting was that, I would only go if it was at a brewery or if it was watching a game, right? And so I did want to, again, reach as many people as possible. So I have done a couple of them at some friendly, family-friendly breweries, Green Cheek in Costa Mesa, OC Tap Room in Laguna Niguel, and they've been really wonderful as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Hangar would be a good spot too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we did a for Father's Day, we did a dads only meetup at the Hangar 24.
Okay, so you do some dad only ones too. That's really nice. I think it's a great way to build some community, and just as much as the moms need the community, I know we were talking before we went on, but dads often want to have those bonds and stuff, but they don't know how to talk to their friends that maybe don't have kids about it. So
yeah, and a big part of it too is guys just in general don't typically feel comfortable opening up about certain things, right? Especially the different challenges that come with parenting. And so being able to have a place where you're going to be with other dads, all of those conversations come up organically because it's just our day to day, I've leaned into the community because my son he's been ending up in our bed just about every single night, and so we just needed to sleep train him. And so, it was this group of guys that helped me have that conversation with my wife. It's like, hey, we need to, I need my bed. I need to sleep. I need to be able to bond with you. And sleep training is going to be, is one of the things I think we should do. We just did it recently, and it was a success. But it was the support that I got from the guys in this community that really gave me the confidence to move forward with it. And so it's all of those conversations end up coming organically. And it's really nice that the other dads also have that support system.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool that you've got, now you're doing 2 a month, and with the holidays right around the corner, one, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff and memories to make with the kiddos.
Yep.
And then also, like, it'll be easier for parents if they're taking shifts to, go shopping and all of that. It's so easy. You're not just like stuck at home trying to figure out what to do or making sure the kids don't break themselves. Like, you're out and you're getting experiences.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what a lot of the guys do is like, it's just a go-to on whatever weekends we're hosting it. It's something to a place to go, take their kids. They know that their kid's going to get that socialization. They're probably going to get a little bit of a break because once the kids are all in this little mosh pit of, dads and families and everything, like everyone's all hands on deck. I'm holding other dads' babies and, like we're all there supporting each other. And so it definitely is really nice for some of those dads where it's like, if there's a meetup, they're going to be there. And just as much as it's benefiting the dads, I have so many moms DMing me saying like, thank you so much. Like I finally got a spa day in, or finally got my nails done, or I finally got a binge, the show I've been wanting to binge, like whatever it is. The mom's been able to benefit because the dads are taking the kids out of the house and they've been able to have a second to themselves. So that's been a good win for everybody as well.
Yeah, it's really nice that you started this. I mean, it does feel like a whole, and I think it was really brilliant of you to kind of look at the flip side of what was working for, the mom communities and tackling the dad side of it. Like it's amazing that there's not a lot more of that, and it doesn't surprise me that it's doing so well.
Yeah, it's funny because you're totally right. Like there really isn't anything like this. Locally specifically, but even like nationwide, there are only a handful of groups that I've seen that have started doing this. There's one in New York, there's one in Dallas, there's one in Detroit, and because it's not easily accessible to everyone, like those communities are huge in those areas. And it's been nice because we've been able to support each other and give each other advice and all of those things. But yeah, there just really aren't. Outside of churches, there are not many groups for dads. And so it's been nice to be able to offer it up to all the guys. And again, like my wife loves it. My kid loves it. It's just a win-win. And then obviously being able to also connect with the local businesses as well. So a lot of the coffee shops and different restaurants, they've reached out to me and they've supported me. They helped with the marketing. So again, just a win-win-win everywhere.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they would love to have all the dads come in and buy a cup of coffee or two, or snacks and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So I'm sure a lot of planning goes into all of this. What is next? Like, where do you see this kind of growing and going?
No, that's a great question. There's the end goal. So the original goal was just to build it out throughout Orange County, and it definitely has a name locally and people love going to it. Moms know about it. Obviously the dads know about it. And because there just aren't that many groups just like nationwide, like I'd love to be able to start growing it here in Southern California and elsewhere. I've had dads reach out. I had a dad recently just asked me if I'd be able to help him open a group in San Francisco. I've had dads in I've had dads in Fort Worth and in Miami and in Tucson and in Phoenix. People want to do it, and so it's just a matter of like what I can provide them to be able to do it. So I've been working on that a little bit on the back end, and then people also want like some type of merch. They want to be able to promote it and be able to, show off that they have this community of dads. So long term, I'd love to be able to grow this community and have groups like this accessible to everybody. But for now, I'm going to start with Orange County, maybe move up to LA County, and just see what's required to build that.
I mean, I think it's incredible that, your son's only 18 months old, so this is a very new baby, and it's already taken off like this. So this was not in your great big plan of what you were going to do with your life, but
Totally.
Here you are. I love that.
Yeah, and so it really has been. And like I said, when I started it, I just wanted a couple of friends that I could relate to, right? It was as simple as that. And as it was growing, I started to understand the significance of this community and, again, the lack of options out there for dads. And then I started to realize this is really great for my wife and all of the dad's partners and the kids. And there's just so many different options. There's, a lot of baby companies that we could potentially connect with that have been marketing to families and to moms, but maybe haven't been marketing to dads, right? There's just a lot of different options that are available. But it's just been really nice to see how important this community has been for the local dads.
And so aside from where you post about the upcoming meetups, do you guys have a way to stay connected in between or reach out to each other and ask questions?
No, great question. And so that was also another thing that I was learning was guys were, I don't want to just be able to connect with these guys, once a month or twice a month. And so I ended up creating a Discord channel. And so there's two different Discord channels. There's one that's specific to the dad meetup. And then there's another one that I found that I also post all of my stuff on. It's called Orange County Dads. And they have I want to say they have 500 members that are on this Discord channel, and it's a very active group. And so, so I wanted to make sure I give them a shout out also to all of our local dads, because their channel is a lot more engaged than mine is. But those are two different places online that guys can, again, ask for tips and tricks and support, but also just share anything that they're seeing, any events that are coming on. I've had dads that have met up at different events locally without the kids. So that's definitely a place where people can go to communicate and stay connected outside of the events themselves.
Yeah. I'll just pitch a place that I take I have a 3-year-old son, and where I take him every Saturday morning, without fail, is we go to, what's called, Donut Derelicts, I think is what it's called. It's the Costco at the corner of Brookhurst and Adams in Huntington Beach. Or no, sorry, Magnolia and Adams in Huntington Beach. Okay. And it's every Saturday morning from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And it is a little boy's heaven. All the classic cars. And there's a donut shop right there.
Ooh.
And, I'm going to give them a plug because I love them for my son. And that would probably be a really fun place for all the dads and the kids.
No, I'm gonna add that to my list. We hosted one in oh my gosh, I'm not gonna remember the name of the coffee shop, but it's in Old Town, San Juan Capistrano, and it's right by the train. Okay. And so, the kids just, they just absolutely love it. Yeah. And my son's a big fan of cars, so. That's a great call. I'm definitely going to add that to the list.
I know I'm not a dad, but let me know when you guys are going there, because we'll be there. We're there every week.
No, I will.
So where can people find you, on Instagram and wherever, to find out more about your events and join you for some of your upcoming ones?
Yeah, so the best place is on Instagram. It's going to be at the Dad Meetup. And then from there, through our bio, you can RSVP for any of the events. You can find us on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page, on Eventbrite, on Meetup, where you'll get regular notifications for any upcoming events. And then if you're just wanting to get a community online, join the Discord channel. You can also find that on Instagram in our bio. Those are the best places to find us.
Well, I'm going to send my husband too, because he likes breweries and he likes coffee and all of those things.
Send him on through. Have yourself a day. Win-win.
Austin, thank you so much for doing this, and thank you for what you are doing to grow the community and just make it more fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Bye.